Hey, welcome to Guitar Knobs, the guitars, gear, noise, and nonsense podcast, hosted today by these knobs.
Tony Dudzik, pick God the N.
Jared Brandon with Brandon One Pickups.
Hey, everybody, it's me, Todd Novak. Welcome to the Guitar Knobs podcast. We are thrilled to death that you are listening to our show just right along with us. It's like we're all sitting on a very small couch, all squished together, sweating. Well, maybe not sweating.
It's not sweating. It's
Well,
it's
if we're
actually
sitting
down the wrong road there,
between
buddy.
you guys.
That's right, middle seat Todd.
Right.
I am.
Don't go down the wrong road.
See, Todd. And not to be forgotten, maybe most sweatiest of all is our special guest tonight. Who are you, special guest?
My name is Brian Bicknell. I'm with Spruce Effects. We make guitar pedals, and I am actually very sweaty, so.
All right.
Yeah.
Like by nature?
Yeah, just by nature. I mean, right now.
That means you're physically fit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweaty by nature. That was
I run hot.
the rap group that never really took off.
But you're in the perfect location if you sweat, aren't you?
Yeah, you know, it's been hot lately, so like anything above 80, and I'm in like Buttertown, it becomes Sweat Town. So.
Yeah.
Right.
On this week's Perspiration podcast.
I use Mitchum. I don't know about you
Yeah.
guys.
That's what my dad used to use.
Mitchum?
Yeah. Roll
Yes.
on, yeah.
It's the only
I
stuff
had a
my
weird friend who used it.
62, Jared?
No, my wife wants it unscented. She hates smelly armpits
Yeah.
that smell good.
Well, there
It's
you go.
loaded with aluminum. Maybe there's something else going on.
Yeah.
Probably.
Anyways.
You see my shirts. I think they're aluminum
Oh
under
my
the
gosh,
arms.
I got to get us out of here. Okay. Hey, everybody. We're really excited because we've got Spruce Effects on. And we've been following Spruce Effects on the old Instagrams for a long time. So we're really thrilled to be able to find out what Brian has to tell us about his story and his pedals and things that are going on with him in his pedal world. Before we get there, Brian, is that okay with you?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, great. What are you drinking right now? Anything cold to drink, hot to drink? What are you wetting your whiffle with? What are you wetting your whiffle with?
I've got a Coke Zero.
Nice.
What?
My favorite. I
Yeah.
love Coke Zero.
How can you?
Yeah.
How does anybody?
There's nothing
drink
in
that?
it. It's zero.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
But it doesn't even taste like.
It tastes exactly like
Anything.
It's
Coke.
the same. It's the same exact
Oh
thing.
my
It
goodness!
tastes exactly like
Have you guys tried the? I also have a half-drink can of Coke Life in front of me. Have you tried that?
Coke Life.
life.
Yeah, check this out. This will blow your mind. It's less calories. So
There's a
it's,
cocaine
it's-
joke in there somewhere.
No, there's,
Coke Life. It'll blow your mind.
it'll make you feel alive. But it's cane sugar and stevia, and it's like almost half the calories. And I decided to try it out. I don't like it because it's not real Coke. And if I'm going to drink a real Coke, I might as well just go full bodied.
Yeah.
But I like the Coke Zero.
I like making mixed drinks with Coke Zero because it
Yeah, I do
tastes
too.
like regular Coke.
You
Yeah.
are out of your mind.
We need the Coke Pepsi test.
Yeah,
A blindfold
I
test.
I can do it.
I can do it so easy.
Well,
Oh, God.
it doesn't matter because Pepsi's better and all of that stuff. But anyways, on the other soft drink show, we're going to get moving around here.
Don't we have some people to
we
thank?
sure do. We need to thank. All right, Rode Mics for hooking us up with the Rodecaster Pro machine, the thing
The
that looks
command
like
module.
the Darth Vader of podcasting, and we also have our Procaster mics
And
with our articulating arms. We're back in business, baby. Back in business, baby.
No Roadmasters this week?
No Roadmasters.
Just a Rodecaster.
Yes, that Roadmaster is many things. That is a term. That is a name. A label name for so many things. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Everybody go look up Roadmaster and you will have everything from bikes to cars to all kinds of stuff.
Nice.
I couldn't think of all the other things. Anyways,
Didn't
Tires?
Peavy have a Roadmaster amp?
Yeah, I think they might have.
probably.
think they
Well,
did.
he invented a lot of stuff, so might as well. Maybe he invented the original one. Don't think so.
No.
All right. We also want to remind everybody that we are on the YouTube, and now it's just a podcast right now. So you can listen along, and you can look at our big three dumb faces. That's how you know you're on our show. We also have all of our old library, but focus on the early stuff. I mean, don't focus on the early stuff. Focus on the later stuff, because that is literally warts and all back then. But we were doing it. We were making it. We were making it happen. Some good times back
Primitive.
then. It was a little bit primitive, and we didn't have all of the whole show layout.
Well, we
quite
certainly
yet.
did not have the Rodecaster Pro.
No, we didn't. We did not.
But I know something we did have. Fun.
Love. Oh,
Fun.
fun, love, love and fun.
I guess we could put love in there.
Okay, all right. And actually, you make a good point, because I am pulling forward some of our earlier guests, because a lot has happened since we've talked to them. Just like Copper Sound Pedals, they were one of the earlier guests.
Yeah.
Lots gone on since then. So we
Yeah.
you know,
It's a really good idea.
we want to hear what's new with a lot of all of our older friends. All right, let's get into what's going on in our music worlds this week. We're going to start off with Tony and then head over to Brian. And Brian, where are you calling from right now, by the way?
Like geographically or
Geographically.
Redwood City, California.
Oh, man, I love it up there.
Yeah, it's nice.
I absolutely love it.
Do they have any trees there?
No,
They have
not anymore.
a few.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tony, hit it.
So I don't know, an episode or two ago, I was talking about the 108 guitar book, which is absolutely beautiful. Came in, it was everything that I remembered, and the beauty of it is this photographer treated the guitars more like objects of art, as opposed to the typical guitar book that has here's the body, here's the headstock, here's this. So she focused in on some really cool features on a lot of the guitars. So that one came in, and I had also bid on a paperback version, which is when you hold the two up side by side, the paperback version is about 30% smaller in size.
Oh.
So the photos, they're nice, but they're not as nice as the big, heavy. I just love a big, heavy, leather-bound kind of book. So now I have a copy of each, so I'll take the paperback down to the shop, so I have that down there. But I got that one for a steal, too. So
Nice.
So I'm very happy, and I like books.
That's great, man.
If I can't
appreciate
afford
it.
the guitars, I buy the books.
I dig it. Super duper. Brian, tell us
Yes.
what's up.
Well, I have been, you know how everyone kind of ebbs and flows in like the gear addiction, and it flares up sometimes.
Yes.
I'm in like a
I have
hot,
no idea.
I'm in the hot zone right now. So I've been purchasing some things, for better for worse, in every category, I guess. So like to start out with, I've basically replaced all the pickups in my guitars with Righteous Sound pickups, which are phenomenal if you haven't had a chance to check them out. So Telecaster, ES335 style. What else do I have? Jazzmaster. I don't have any P90s from them yet, but I'm going to probably do that next. And they're just so great. And so I've been like really digging, like opening up all my guitars, and because it's kind of in the general wheelhouse that I'm operating in, but it's a totally different world, and it's a lot of fun to rewire a guitar up when you're, knee deep in PCBs all day. And then I got this Magnatone Varsity Reverb. The company is, back now, and I got it for a good deal. And I had a shipping issue where it came broken, and they were great people to work with, the store I was working with, and they sent me a replacement straight from the factory, and it's just great. It's just a cool amp, and I've been trying to play that as much as possible.
What is it that you like about that particular amp? Because I know that they are making a comeback, but they haven't really gone fully mainstream to where people can go like, oh, it sounds like that.
Yeah, it's just kind of like a bright, punchy sound. And I got it for the reverb. It doesn't have the vibrato that Magnatone is famous for, but that was more of a price thing for me because their stuff that they're making with that feature is just way more expensive. But I really just wanted like a kind of unique, different sounding, smaller-ish combo with reverb, and so it kind of fell into my lap.
Nice.
And so, yeah, that's kind of, I've been doing that. Oh, I bought a Dan Electro DM25 from the 60s. I have a lot of vintage gear. That's kind of like what I like.
That's your weakness, your kryptonite.
Yeah. And so, like, I have all my Reverb search filters, like, for mint condition or excellent condition stuff from the 60s. So it's like, you know, the ridiculous thing will pop up now and then, like the $10,000 Vibrolux or something. And then once in a while, it's like, ooh, that looks nice. That's not too expensive. So yeah.
Yeah, that's always fun if you can find something. I found an odd one that with Tony and I were talking about guitars, and it was just kind of fun to go, oh, look at this one, you know, and went a little bit back and forth, and it's still out of my price range, but most things are. So
yeah, I got a good deal on Craigslist for that Dan Electro though, so
that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Jared, how about yourself, buddy?
Yeah, I'm the same way. I get the hankering for a new piece of gear, and something that's been kind of just in the back of my mind for the last 5 years is I've always wanted one of the best sounding guitars you could ever get, which is a pre-1970 Martin that has the all Brazilian back. So I've been just kind of eyeballing for a long time. And my theory is the more beat up the guitar is, the more it's been used, the most likely it sounds really good. Because, if it's in mint condition, why hasn't it been played? You know what I mean?
Right.
So give me the old beat up Martin. And so I found one for a really good price. And I bought it yesterday, and I'm getting it tomorrow.
Nice.
Ooh, fun.
And he just used regular UPS. He charged a lot. He was going to charge me $200 shipping.
What?
Yeah, and I looked on the thing on his, on the description, and then I email him like, "Hey man, what's with the $200 USPS first class?" And he's like, "Oh no, I got hammered. His price is not negotiable. I got hammered last time." I'm like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah, don't worry. I'm gonna ship UPS, and I'm gonna use plywood." And then I said, "Oh." All you had to say was plywood.
Like a crate.
So,
like
he's going to crate it up. Oh, yeah. He's going to crate that thing up, so nothing's going to happen. So I was really happy. I'll pay more money as long as they do anything they can to protect it from the evil forces of the delivery man.
Interesting.
Your delivery man's not going to like hauling up a 60-pound crate.
Actually, I'm like friends with all those UPS guys. I try to do my best to, hey, you need a water, or how you doing? How's the kids? I try to be as nice as possible so they remember that.
Yeah.
So they don't, try to score a goal on my porch with a box.
Ace Ventura style.
Right. So I mean. Yeah,
that's cool. Where's it coming
from?
Super
duper North Carolina or South Carolina.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so excited about it. And he had a demo and everything sounded good on the demo, but when you have it in your hands, I think I know how good a guitar really sounds when somebody else is playing it and I'm right in front of it.
Right.
That's when you really know.
Mm-hmm. Like a microphone.
So, exactly.
Yeah.
No, when you're,
no,
when the sound hole is away from you, you can't hear it very well.
Like a microphone.
No, like a speaker.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's do that. What about you, Ted?
That's my thing. Why are you doing that?
Tony and I are having fun with Jared because he's like way off mic. He's like, yeah, like a microphone.
Like Mike.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize it.
Yeah,
that's what's so funny about it.
Well, I was I've gotten a couple interesting things on the board as of late, and I was having some fun with the Hello Sailor pedal.
Hello,
that was
Sailor.
Hello Sailor that he made up for me, and was just kind of tweaking around with some tones and stuff, and then I hit a chord and I was like, dang, man, that sounds a lot like everything on Electric from the Cult. I was like, well, guess I'm going to stay here for a while. And it was just great. Just down in the basement, not playing my own music because like sometimes I got to take a break from like trying to make stuff and then it was just great just to go, oh yeah, this one too, Wildflower, bang, whoosh, you know, so good.
Well, that's
Billy
awesome.
Duffy. Thank you, my man, wherever you are in the world right now, for making your kick-ass rock and roll.
Oh, here he comes now.
What?
Special guest.
Yes. Boy, that would be a treat to have him on. You know?
Yeah.
Because I'm sure he listens to the show.
Oh, yeah. He can't wait till the next episode comes
I know.
out.
I know. He's on pins and needles over there and wherever in Hampshire, Dorfton, in England. Anyways, I think it's time for some of this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4 on the floor. Tony Baloney.
No.
If you found yourself in a knife fight, would you rather have a Tour Gear Design patch cable or a Coke Zero?
I do like Coke Zero an awful lot.
Yes.
And I think you could throw a can. Is the can filled?
You can. You throw that can. You know why? Because you want to hang on to that Tour Gear Design patch cable.
I'm keeping the cables.
Because they're fantastic. That's why.
They're like crepes.
They're like crepes, but they're different. They're actually patch cables. And they are so flat, and they are so well built, and they are so affordable that you would be a dum-dum if you didn't get some of those.
Who you call a dum-dum?
Think about it. For
Yeah.
a couple of cans of that Coke Zero,
Yeah.
you could end up with a really sweet piece of gear.
Yeah.
And you would be
lasts a long time.
They last a long time.
And they're cool.
And
And
they're
they
cool.
work.
They work.
And they take up like zero space on your board.
Just like a Coke Zero.
Well, don't pour a Coke Zero on your board.
Don't do that. Anyways, head on over to tourgeardesigns.com/discounts/the guitar knobs, and you will get 10% off your entire order.
Nice.
You
Worth
can do
it.
up your whole board for very little dough.
Do you have that on our website?
Very little
People can
headache.
Just click and go there.
I will.
I think you should.
I know I should.
Because people, people love to point and click.
I'll tell you where it is. If you go to our Instagram, it's on the bio link in the link tree. So there is a direct link there.
That makes it
do
easier.
that. Anyways, check them out. They're fantastic. They were on the show. You can
Should they subscribe while they're over there?
They
too?
should subscribe. Doggone it! It's so easy. All you got to do is hit follow. People, if you're on the Instagram, just hit follow. But anyways, more about Brian Bicknell right now.
Nice segue.
Yes, we're gonna find out his actual 4 on the floor. That's what we're doing right now, and we can't wait to hear it. Brian, tell us your
Yes.
4 on the floor.
All right. I gave this a lot of thought. And as someone who builds guitar pedals, I just don't really use them that often. And it's not because I don't like them. It's because I'm too busy designing and building pedals for you. So
Good
it's
answer.
Yeah.
Did you rehearse that?
no, I just made it up. But I do have some sort of standout favorites, some from friends and a couple vintage ones. So I think I'm going to start out with and I'm holding it right now too. I've got them in front of me. The Pelican Noiseworks Pelotar.
That's a good one.
And if you're not familiar, I don't know how in depth you want me to go with my love affair for these effects, but
Dig in deep.
Give us a love, baby.
deep, okay,
Deep.
But I consider Leon to be a good friend. We've collaborated a few times before. We have 2 of our own versions of the Pelotar, but I have the original one in my hand. And I think it's like serial number like 30 or something. So
Wow.
I'm not going to sell it ever, but it's great. It's just such a cool idea. In the world of dirt, you don't get to see a lot of unique sort of operational ideas. Like there's a lot of unique sounds, and fuzz and dirt can sound different, but the blending of these 2 very different fuzz with the treble that sort of acts in reverse for the respective circuit as you change it, which is really cool. So it's kind of hurts your brain to like try and think about what it's doing. So you just kind of like are forced to play it and just find where you like it, which I really like. And it's just such a cool idea and a great pedal. And done well for himself with this little funny graphic of a pelican with a horse's head. So, in case you were wondering what a pelletar was, that's what that is. It's a mythical creature.
It's a really good pickup. I mean, pedal.
Pick up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a pickup pedal. Pickup on my mind all the time. That's a really good pedal.
Didn't he used to have the plush pelletars too? Is that the,
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had
The little toy ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are cool. I don't have one, but if Leon's listening, he should mail me one for free.
Leon, get him on. Last I think when we had him on, he was in the process of reordering.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
great.
Indeed.
Yeah. Cool. This could be a total lie, but I'm pretty.
Tell me.
I'm
Tell
pretty
me it's
sure that
sweet.
his wife takes two different stuffed animals and cuts the head off of one of them and sews it onto
That's
the other.
fantastic.
No, I could see that.
That's even better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
That's actually
Yeah,
good.
so-
That's a fun idea.
That's a sweet little lie.
yeah.
If it's untrue, that's what they should start doing, even if it costs more.
They're handmade. That's the love.
That's right.
Yeah.
Cool. What do you got for number 2?
All right, number 2 is a pedal from, I don't know if they're well known or not well known, but it's the builder is formerly from my area, so that's how we hooked up. But it's Mad Mojo Electronics. Are you familiar with that brand?
Add Mojo. There's
Yes.
a lot of things named Mojo. There's
Yeah.
like Mojo Hand. There's Mojo Tone.
Mojo
there's
Tone, Mojo Music Supply.
There's Mojo Jojo.
Yeah. But this is called the Mercury Overdriver.
Mad Mojo Mercury Overdrive.
Oh wait, I've heard of that one.
And it's orange and sparkly, and it looks great. But it's just like a really good. I don't know. It's just a well-designed pedal. I like dirt pedals. If you didn't know that,
Yeah, me too.
that's kind of where I stay.
That's
I
Schnoebel.
stay in my lane. Yeah, Schnoebel has a review of it, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I don't know. I got it probably 4 or 5 years ago before he moved away, but I was pretty new at that point in like the serious pedal game, and it's just so beautiful to look at on the inside. It sounds so good. It's just well thought out. It's got this focus knob that's like super powerful with the tone control, and I like simple but powerful EQ. And we try to do that in our stuff too, but this focus control just like really changes. I actually don't even know what it does, but I think it's sort of like I think it adds gain to low or highs depending on where it is, which is pretty cool. And you can really hear it, obviously depending on your guitar and rig. But it's just great. It's like a kind of always on overdrive.
Nice.
And I really love that.
And it's orange. I mean, we love that.
Yeah, it's sparkly and orange, and it's got a cool little like hand engraved like aluminum plate on it. And then the inside is phenomenal. I'll send you guys a picture of it later. But yeah, and then that's my number 2. My number 3 is a pedal that I actually don't own. So this is where it gets a little bit
Quite
fuzzy.
all right.
But I've made a lot of this circuit personally, and I'm just in love with the Mark III tone bender. And I know it's not like the most popular. People like the Mark I because it sizzles, and the Mark II because of all of the famous folks that used it. But I just like that third knob, and a well-made Mark III tone bender can do a lot. And it's one of those pedals where, like, you know how you kind of are, you're playing and you don't really have that much time, and you're like, all right, I got 15 minutes. I'm going to just kind of jam out for a minute. And then you hit on that pedal, whichever one that pedal is for you. And for me, it's this one. And, you know, before you know it, it's like 90 minutes are gone, and you're like, your partner's screaming at you, and like, you're like sweating, and like, you don't even remember what song you were playing. And like, you just like kind of like were in this trance because it just sounded good. And that's what that pedal does for me.
That sounds a lot like the chat that we had over Instagram when I got your Gale. Like, honestly, that's exactly what happened.
That's right. You sent me pictures of your fingers.
Yes, I did. That sounds, a little weird. It might have been a little weird, but it was good reason. Actually, you know what? I'll post that picture now that you brought that up, because that is the picture of joy. That's what that is to me.
Yeah. I really appreciated that, so thank you.
You better believe it, man. You need to make a life-size poster of that.
Okay.
To be really small. Anyways, okay, that was weird. How about number 4?
All right, number 4 is another kind of cheater one. I apologize, but it is it's the first pedal that I ever made. And it's not my circuit, so I'm not cheating. It's not one of my products. I will never sell it. But it is a DIY circuit called the Runoff Groove Supro, and they spell it Supreaux.
Very French. Not a Baton Rouge.
Yeah, and so clearly, if you couldn't figure it out, it's a Supro-based pedal. But it's from Runoff Groove, which is a DIY website. And I thought about this a lot, and this pedal is really important to me because a lot of times pedal builders, the community is amazing. You guys know this, and everyone kind of shares information. And the little guys talk to the medium guys and talk to the big guys, and it's like great. You jump on the forums, and Robert Keeley's in there commenting, and you've got all these other people who are just very giving and helpful. And so back when I was sort of cutting my teeth, so to speak, back in the, I guess, like early mid 2000s, I was, like everyone else, the internet was very popular, but a lot of the gear forums were kind of just getting like super popular, I guess. Not to use the same word twice, but and so
take it back.
Yeah, it was not popular. I take it back. But a lot of pedal guys that came out of that time learned a lot from these, like, Robert Keeley, I mentioned him, and he's kind of like an all-star, but like they're like these DIY rock who are like larger than life if you nerd out to that kind of stuff. And they would show up on the forum and reply to your dumb noob comment or question with, grace and kindness, and just offering so much information for free. So it was like kind of the Wild West, where these like super famous, like amazing pedal designers are like, oh yeah, I designed this really cool, super unique overdrive circuit. I'm just going to post it on the internet for all these dorks to build for free. And so that pedal is very special to me. I still have it. And it's just a really great sort of story that I like to remind myself. I have it hanging on one of my pedal shelves, and I look at it fondly, even though it was built by me in the early days and is a total train wreck on the inside. But yeah, so that's my number 4.
Nice. Excellent. Well, we love a good story about pedals and stuff, and that was one. That was a good story.
That was 4 good stories. 4
good stories. That leads us to saying a great big, humongous, check out this segue. Thanks, John Finnell. JohnFinnell.com. Extraordinary producer, recording engineer, etc. And we're grateful. Guitar Tone Guru.
That's John.
And that's where we have parked our studio here in the back broom closet. And it literally is. It's a big, giant broom closet, but it's ours for right now. So thank you very much, John Finnell, for hooking us up. If you are interested in finding your guitar tone and helping to understand how you can get it tracking better, it's one thing to hear it live, it's another thing to hear it as it's recorded, and he can certainly help do that. So you can check him out, johnfinnell.com. That's JONFINTEL.com.
That's John.
Yeah. Oh, there's your jingle. All right.
That's right.
All right. So anyways, let's see here. We need to find out what's going on with the whole Spruce Effects thing. Now, we're certainly not the first people to go like, hey, check out Spruce Effects, everybody. Look at what these guys do. You've been around for a little while, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you use
Not getting any
spruce.
younger.
You use spruce in all of your pedals. Is that right?
That's right.
Yeah, I put a little spruce branch in each one.
Little spruce.
Blue spruce. So that's a really weird thing. The whole blue spruce thing. I can't remember what. Oh, that was from Toast of London. If you
that's
okay, tiny spruce connection segue. If you have not seen, for whatever reason, if you have not seen Toast of London on Netflix, please give it a shot. It is one of the funniest series I have ever seen. Period. And and you have to watch till the end of the series to get the blue spruce thing. So there's your Easter egg. Blue spruce. Anyways,
I like how you said that.
yes. So okay, Brian, you've got an extraordinary product here. You've got some great pedals that you're making right now. You've made some in the past. I'd like to find out a little bit about where you're drawing your. Maybe let's start with where you're at currently, because I think there's a lot going on with with your world currently.
Yeah. I can kind of run through like the sort of summary of the different things that we're trying to do, but we kind of had this not like moment of clarity, but we definitely sort of refined some of our focus in the last year, where we really like classic circuits. We're not really into like doing historical clone replicas, which not because those aren't awesome. I love sort of historically accurate clones. And there are tons of amazing builders out there. I mean, just go on Instagram and just like, you could like sit there drooling for, hours just looking at these gut shots of these really talented people. Mm-hmm. So we kind of separated our line into basically three sort of standalone areas, where we've got the classic series, the etch series, and then the Americana series. And so the classic series is the two pedals that I sent you guys, the Gale and the Arborist. The Gale's been around for a couple years now, but we kind of redid the artwork with Jordan from Pine Box Customs. But those are totally unique sort of homebrew circuits that we worked up. So they're not clones, they're not based on anything or derivatives. I mean, you'll find elements of things in there because there are only a few ways to distort your guitar. But at their core, they're pretty unique. And that's what we want to kind of keep for the classic series. And so we've got another one coming out hopefully soon. And the etch series is kind of where we're keeping all of our clones. We started doing these laser etch pedals, and it was funny. Like I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna laser a tree onto a pedal and see what happens. And then people really liked it. I guess people are into like minimalist stuff. I personally don't get it, but whatever. If people want it, I'll give it to them. And that was a joke, by the way. I think they do look cool, but that's where we're doing sort of like our favorite, like our best of classic stuff. So like you can get a germanium fuzz face, you can get a Range Master, which in our opinion is the only guitar pedal ever needed by anyone. If you could only have one,
That's a popular opinion by many.
Yeah. And when I said that I don't really play guitar pedals, that's a lie. I'll always have a Range Master decimating the front end of my amp.
Ooh, decimating. I like that.
Yeah, turn it up all the way. There's no reason not to. 20 decibels straight in, no big deal. And then so yeah, we're just doing sort of like fun, pretty inexpensive as far as like handmade germanium fuzz pedals go. And the package is cool, and we're changing up the colors, which has been really fun. And so that's kind of the etch series. And then the Americana series, which is kind of like our premium.
May I ask you really quickly
sure.
about the etch series? Are you just going to hold right there, or is there anything you're going to add to that?
Yeah, we're adding stuff at least like in the background all the time. We have like 5 3 knobs that we have sort of in development that aren't available yet. But we're working on those.
I heard that burp.
Ah, damn it! It's that Coke Zero. It's so much carbonation.
Can't get a kidder.
All right, tell me where you want me to pick up.
Oh, you're fine. We're rolling.
I said a curse word though. You got to edit out the D word. Sorry about that.
I will.
Okay. Anyways.
I like the colors in your Edge series, by the way.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. The funny thing about those colors, we just let Jordan pick them all. That's not like something we advertise. It's like, I'm like, hey, dude, I need like 50 enclosures. And he's like, all right, what colors? And I'm like, I don't know, you pick. And he's like, all right, I'll just send you, 10 of 5 random colors. And I'm like, all right, cool.
That's fun.
And then I just go with it. And then so this last batch, I did like this brown one and this red sparkle one, and they sold super fast, which is great.
Yep. They're nice.
But it was just like, it's just fun. Like, it's fun to just open up the box of like, they clank these enclosure boxes. You got this like 20, 30 pound box of enclosure, and it's like, it sounds like a box of screws just rolling around. And then you open it up and it's like Christmas, even though it's your own product, which is funny.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so we're trying to add 3 knob versions of the Etch series. So we did a Big Muff and a couple versions of Big Muffs early on, and kind of ditched it because a lot of people do Big Muffs, and a lot of them are very good. And so we didn't really see it, but a reason for us to do it. But we got a bunch of requests to do a 3-knob muff style fuzz, and so we'll add that eventually. And then, of course, there's the Mark III tone bender, which we'll add in. We're doing a Mark II. We have a Mark II available, which is the most popular one in the 2-knob. Yeah, so we're constantly thinking of what to add and how to make it a little bit better. And because that series is just really about options. Like, you go on the website, and our website isn't that great, but you can like click the drop down menu and it's like, ooh, I can get the red sparkle in Shinai FY2 companion fuzz. Ooh, I can get a fuzz face too. And so we're trying to like keep it sort of light and fresh with options, but also recognizable. So that's that. I don't know if that answers your question.
That does.
Great.
By the way, the website on my smartphone is great.
Good.
It's a nice website. Don't sell yourself short on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the best man at my wedding designed it, so if he's listening, that's good to hear.
I like the trees in the background and the way you scroll up and down. It's great.
Cool.
Pictures,
Yeah.
good photography.
On this week's design website
One thing I want to mention on the Etch series, if you're not careful, it looks like you're just buying the colors of the of that first the Dallas Arbiter Rangemaster.
Right.
I had to double check that because I was like, that's a lot of. Wait, are these all just the single purchases for that single color? No, they're not. You got the Dallas Arbiter Fuzz Face, the Rangemaster, the Guild Foxy Lady, and
2-knob version, not the 3-knob Big Muff.
Right, and the Soul to Sound MK2 tone bender. So they're all on there. So if you're just scrolling, it's because the pedals all look identical except for the colors.
Right.
So
yep.
Get yourself. That's a great deal on a fantastic design and a great sounding pedal. So
how about the Americana series?
Yeah, let's jump over to that.
That how much time do we have?
You have as much time as you need.
Oh man, so we had this like vision of, and I've said the word premium like so many times talking to people about this that I hate that word now, but we wanted to make like a pedal experience where like you just get the box in the mail, and like from the second the mail person sort of delivers it, like, you get that like fluttery butterfly feeling like I'm sure you're going to get when your Martin rolls in tomorrow.
Yeah.
And like, so we were like, all right, we're not going to just like come up with a cool concept, do the thing, and then kind of just make them. We like lasered in on every single detail, like way too many hours. And we spent a year basically developing like the concept. And so it was a lot of work, but the basic premise is like, we wanted to create like super unique but also classic sounding, and the first 3 have been dirt pedals. The next one is not. If you want to talk about that later, we can. And just like in a limited release, because they're such a pain in the rear to make. If you open one up, it's every single component for the most part is on turrets. So we hand place like every single turret in the hole.
Oh wow!
And you have to flip the thing over and solder every single one, or stake it in depending on the model. And so like for Volcanoes, for example, I think there are like 73 turrets or something absurd. And
wow.
So like they're just like the first 5 are fun to build, just telling you, but like after that it's I just have to remind myself like this is worth it. Like you're seeing your vision and like dreams to fruition. Like just keep going. Whereas like the other stuff is much easier to crank out. But it's just like, we wanted to put it in a cool package. So it comes in a lunchbox, like an old retro tin lunchbox that's silk screened. Every little sort of detail we've tried to think of and make it sort of feel like super special. And, we wanted to do like a really great sounding pedal, but also one that looks cool. And then one that feels different than all of the other pedals that you sort of get in the mail and open up. And so we put a lot of thought into that. And then there's the whole national park thing. Our brand is really about, basically trees. I built a brand on trees.
Yes.
And so we wanted to do like an homage, I guess, to, I don't know if you've seen like the old lithograph posters from like the 1940s.
Old travel posters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're like super popular to like recreate now, and there are tons of cool artists like remaking them for parks that never got featured. But we wanted to do like this sort of handmade, like sort of super focused landscape. We wanted it to look like a painting, basically. And so Jordan from Pine Box Customs, if you don't notice the theme, we work with him a lot. He was down for the challenge, and so I'm pretty sure like before we even made the first pedal, it was like 13 months of like art design back and forth. I was doing all the circuit design like in the background. Jordan, that wasn't something that he was working on with me, but like every single thing to the like tag that he silk screened and like the fonts, and like I don't know how he still talks to me because that process was like tedious, to put it kindly. And we're really stoked with how it came out, and people seem to respond. We sold the 40 Saguaros in 40 minutes, which was kind of cool.
That's awesome.
I think it was like 37. I rounded up because it sounded cooler to say 40 and 40. But
now, you got the Acadia, the Volcanoes, and the Saguaros? Is that or are they all the same circuit?
No, they're all different.
Okay.
So those 3 they're all fuzz. There's a germanium component. Volcanoes is a hybrid, so there's germanium and silicon in there, and they're very unique in terms of like what they can do. But they do have their roots in kind of the '60s germanium style stuff.
Right. And the only one available.
There are none available.
None available.
Yeah.
But,
so, we're doing it kind of like Spaceman. We do the drop on the 1st of every other month. So the next one's coming out on November 1st.
Okay.
So you heard it here first.
Which one is coming out?
Should I say?
Well, yeah.
It's secret.
Just
Okay,
lie
then
to us.
don't.
Tell us a sweet
lie.
little lie, man.
No, let them wait for it. Something
All right.
big's coming. Something big's coming November 1st.
Yeah.
Okay.
If we can get it working.
If you can get it working. Awesome.
How much time do I have? What's the date?
See, that's really cool that, I like that you're able to say, I've got a core thing going on and I can do these special things, because those special things, it's like, that's the kind of thing that once you start getting, a little bit of that gear acquisition syndrome, that's the thing you look for. And even if it's like, I may have 10 fuzz pedals, but I want this one too. It's okay.
Yeah.
and it makes it special.
Yeah, and we're trying to we ran into a problem kind of with the first one where it sold in 4 hours or something, and we only made 25 of them, so that was a little bit smaller run. But at that moment, I was getting all these DMs and emails from people who they were actually angry people. I got probably 15 or 20 messages over the following few days of that release where people were like, what's wrong with you? Why can't I buy one? Don't you want my money? And I'm like, well, I guess I do, but it's not about that. I had to commit to how many I could make and the time that I had to make them, and they're tedious. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. And so we made a little bit more of the Saguaros one and didn't get any angry potential customers emails from that one. So,
well, the cool thing is
special.
You've got no shortage of amazing parks to draw from.
Yes, we have quite the list. The spreadsheets for this stuff are daunting.
That's outstanding. That's really cool. I like that you're doing that.
Thanks.
I grew up on the West Coast and spent many days, months, weeks, the whole thing up and down the entire West Coast at all the different parks and everything. So I have a love for that. If you've spent time there and you get it, you get it, and it never leaves you. That's good stuff.
Yeah, yeah, totally. That's exactly what we're trying to kind of invoke with folks is if you're looking for something new, a great sounding fuzz, but you're tired of everything looking the same or just kind of being the thing that you buy, we're hoping that this series, the thought that we put behind it, people are going to kind of identify with that. We got a ton of good feedback that people are like, oh, I'm from Maine originally, and that picture when I saw Acadia, it made me remember those vacations I took with my grandparents who are dead, and it's so cool. Thank you for making that. And
wow.
That's the kind of stuff we're going for.
That's awesome, man.
With that stuff. So, but the parks are special.
Well, let's a quick touch on you have your core series, which anybody can just pretty much buy anytime they want, right?
Yep. Yeah, etched and classic stuff is just normal. We change the colors sometimes, but they're usually always available. So
all right, let's discuss those real quick, and then you have a special thing that you just did that I want to touch on too.
Sure. Yeah. So do you want to talk about the Gale?
I do want to talk about the Gale.
Okay. Do you want the origin story of the Gale?
I want the origin story of the Gale, and then I'll regale my. See what I did right there? My little story. Okay, go ahead.
So the Gale was an idea we had where we wanted to make a fuzz distortion. We don't really play personally distortion pedals that much. Obviously, we have ones that we like, but we wanted to make something that did the kind of 3 stages of dirt, which is the sort of low gain, kind of making your amp sort of work a little bit, and then you can get into distortion territory where it's saturated, and then full on fuzz where it's you just want to play the D chord until the sun comes up, kind of thing.
I'm drooling right now.
Yeah. So we our good friend John at Electronic Audio Experiments.
John who?
John Snyder.
Hey, drink.
Wait, what's that game?
It's the John Snyder drinking game.
Literally gets mentioned every
oh my gosh
podcast. But he's been on 3 times, two times.
2 times.
2 times, yeah. So, anyways, all right.
Wow, that's
hi, John.
Cool. Yeah, hey John. I'm gonna butcher the story right now if you're listening. I'm gonna tell my version of it. This is how I remember it. But we talk all the time, and he's such a great guy. And I'll actually give him a quick plug. John Snyder from Electronic Audio Experiments. You should take a drink now if you haven't. He is. I think he's the most prolific and talented guitar pedal designer in the world. That is my opinion. My opinion is not worth much, but he is. If you spend just a few hours getting to know him and talking to him about effects, he's smarter and more equipped and has better intuition than anyone I've ever talked to in this business. And and I can't say enough nice things about him. And he doesn't like to talk about it, but he is very young. I don't know how old you guys are.
Well, let's not get into that.
Yeah, he's
what? John's about 12 or 13 now.
yeah. He just got his PhD too, so he's Doogie Howser.
Yeah.
He probably doesn't even know who Doogie Howser is. That's how young he is.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's you're. I don't think you're wrong.
But anyways, back to the Gale. So we approached him, and by approach I mean I probably sent him like a drunk text or something. And
I think you're handsome. I didn't mean to write handsome. It just came out. Can you make me a pedal? I think you're smart too.
yeah. Your beard is cute. I mean, big. But we essentially were like, hey, we want to make a germanium powered distortion fuzz that doesn't resemble anything. And he was like, all right, cool, let's do it. So the first version of it, we basically prototype, digitally, and then I'll make one, and then I mail it to him, and then he like gives notes, and then like cuts it apart and hacks it and sends it back to me, and then I look at it, and then the whole back and forth ensues. I don't even know how many versions of it I sent over there, but basically it started out as like a really, really good sounding low gain overdrive, and it was like really good, and I really liked it, and I was like, dude, we need more gain. And he was like, well, it kind of does what it's supposed to, and it's really cool. And I was like, no, man, we got to turn this thing into a rager. Let's add some gain stages, and whatever we did. And so it like sort of evolved from this like really nice sounding sort of low gain, I don't want to say transparent, but like a pedal that you like just kind of for a little bit of oomph and a little EQ and just controlling your tone a little bit more, a little tasty whatever. And I was like not satisfied with it. And so
I just envision you saying, "Dear John, not satisfied. Send."
I think we use the term gain juice a lot. It needs more gain juice.
Well, this one definitely has gain juice
Oh, man.
to spare.
Yeah. And so, it went through, I think we went through probably like 4 or 5 revisions, and we added the stuff that needed to be added, and, really refined the clipping section and whatever. And then, so I think I sent this final prototype to John, and I was like, all right, this is great. I love it. It's got 5 knobs. And if you look at your Gale, it has 4 knobs. And you might be wondering, well, where did the 5th knob go? And so John was testing it, and he was like, all right, dude, I think I'm onto something. This sounds great. It's great. Let's, I think I'm done with the overall sort of whatever, and, let's kind of call it there. But the 2 gain controls, so the 5th knob was an extra gain control that controlled the gain of the input stage. So there was like just a regular, silicon transistor gain stage at the beginning of the circuit. And he said that he was finding that he was setting the 2 gain knobs at the same level and getting the best tones. So he was like, let's just put them on the same knob. And so as you turn up the gain on the Gale, it's essentially, slamming your input at the same time that it's increasing, like, essentially the clipping gain stage that you would find in, like, a normal distortion fuzz. So it's like, I mean, I haven't mapped it or scoped it, but it's, it sounds like sort of like an exponential or logarithmic relationship where, like, as you turn it up, you'll notice, like, past 12 on the gain control, it starts to get, like, really hairy. And that's because it's actually controlling 2 independent stages at the same time. And so that was, like, where the sort of, like, aha moment was for me. And he was like, let's do it like that. And, like, as soon as we, built out the final prototype to have that feature, it was like, oh crap, this is tasty. I like this.
Yeah. Yeah. And that resulted in my finger picture.
Yes. That I'm going to print out full size.
Yes.
Full size.
So when I immediately I called up or I sent a text to these 2 guys, and I was like, dudes. And then I was yapping at Tony, and think I described it as it just added so much life to the sound. Kind of like when you have, if you're really cranking your amp, you can hear other tones happening.
Yeah.
It isn't just the one signal. You start to hear other things. And to me, that's what it sounded like. And I couldn't put the guitar down. Like, I mean, honestly, all I did was I did the unboxing. Like I do my unboxing thing. And I said, well, I got to plug this in before I go mess around with put the kids to bed or whatever. Well, that resulted in, I was in the basement way too long. The only reason I stopped playing, I might have lost my fingers, to be honest, if I didn't have to put my kids to bed.
Oh my gosh.
That pedal sounds so good. It sounds so good, and it's only criminal because I've just now played it.
Oh,
Okay, so I highly encourage you, if you have been thinking about getting a new drive pedal, if you have been thinking about trying to find something new or just adding a little extra to what you do, I could not recommend that pedal more. It is so good. So,
thanks.
and that leads me to the latest special edition thing that you just did that I think a lot of people missed out on. You want to just tell us about that real quick, and then we'll head on over and talk to Jared.
Yeah. So we were approached by, I guess, a client or a customer, someone who was familiar with our work or bought our pedals, and they were like, "Hey, we used to live in the Bay Area. Would you be interested in like doing like a fire relief pedal?" And this is like a couple months ago, so it was pretty bad then. And I was like, I think I got the messages, and I was like in my workshop looking out at this, my backyard in Redwood City, where the slogan is "Weather best by government test," which is a funny slogan. We can unpack that later if you want. But in the sky was like orange, and it was like dark, and it was like 3 p.m. And I was just like, "Sheesh, this is like bad news. Yeah, I'm down. Whatever you want, let's just do it." And so he was like, "Okay, cool. I'm a graphic designer. I'll work on the artwork. And what are you thinking for circuit or just overall feel?" And I was like, "Well, let's do a Gale, and we'll see what artwork you come up with, and then we can kind of go from there." And we went back and forth for a while, and he had, I don't know how many different versions of the art, but maybe like 5 or 6, and we picked the one that you see, which is, it's a redwood branch with a redwood cone, and redwood is fire resistant and very hardy tree. And if you've never been to the Northern California Bay Area, you should definitely come just to see the trees, the Avenue of Giants, and all of these amazing, and also not to leave out the sequoias, but I always like to go, out there camping and whatever, and think like, what did the first people who saw this like think? Like, they see like this, 300-foot tree, 200-foot tree with, a diameter of like, 15 feet.
Yeah.
What crossed their mind? Like, why is there an organism on Earth this big?
Yeah.
And this old? And so, I thought that sort of metaphor for the artwork, the redwood branch, really kind of like resonated with us. And so we went with that artwork. And then our enclosure person, F5 Metalworks, Jacob, who does a lot of people's stuff, I was talking with him. I was like, "Hey, we're going to do a small run, like 25 of these." And he was like, "Cool, like what's up with the branch or whatever?" And I was like, "Oh, we're going to, donate all the proceeds to fire relief. We're just doing it kind of like a fun, trying to do our part kind of thing." And he was like, "Oh, this is like a charity thing?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he actually donated the enclosures, like 100%. Like, we didn't pay a dime. And that's like a huge part of the bill of materials for any pedal is the enclosure. Like, a lot of the stuff is pretty cheap to make, and the enclosure, like you just can't get around it. It's a lot of metal. It's powder coat. It's print. It's expensive. And so, Jacob at F5 was like, I'm going to cover it all. I'm going to send them to you for free. And I was like, wow, this is crazy. And then that's where I kind of got the idea for like doing it like 100% of proceeds. Cause I kind of been like seeing a lot of, asks for money out there. And, a lot of it, you don't really know where your dollar's going. Is it like 20%, 80%, 93%? You can look up charities on the internet and find out how much of your dollar goes. But I was just like, I'm just going to say every penny of every dollar is going to go to the two organizations that we're working with. Just like, it was just almost like it was just easier to do it that way. And so like we sort of absorbed all the other manufacturing costs and that kind of thing. But yeah, that's kind of like how that came about. It sold out in 3 hours. It was, I was very shocked. People seem to really like it. I'm really excited that a bunch of people are going to have a Gale now, because I like that circuit a lot. If you couldn't tell, and then so we're donating $5,000 that we made yesterday. So if you're listening, yesterday was the day that it was released, and we're pretty stoked. So
that is fantastic, man. Well done.
Yeah.
That's good on you, and good on
thanks.
everybody else for jumping on that.
Yeah,
I missed the boat I must have been by 5 minutes?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there was a
little
website problem at one point, but like some people added it to their cart, so it took it out of inventory, and then like they never checked out, and then they never bought it, and then they closed the window later, so other people bought it. I don't know how the internet works. I'm not. Yeah. I'm not Mark Zuckerberg.
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
Anyways, well, dude, I really appreciate you sharing, everything. Now, we didn't spend a whole lot of time kind of getting into your whole back deal, and we usually do that, but I like where you're at with these things right now, and I wanted to learn more about them selfishly. Awesome. And I make sure that anybody that doesn't know, because sometimes it's shocking. It's like we think, oh, well, surely you know about this brand or this brand or this brand, and people are like, huh? Mm-hmm. And so anything that we can do to help get the word out about builders, even if you've been around for 10 years, there's plenty of people that still haven't. We don't know everybody. We're still running into people. We're like, who's this person over here? So
yeah, totally.
Anyway, so it's been fantastic talking to you and learning about this. We're gonna spend a little bit of time with Jared, and then we'll wrap ourselves out of this and lavish more thank yous to you in just a little bit. Okay.
Great.
It's time to shift into Would You Rather.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Today was a special Would You Rather song because one of the rock pioneer gods of our time sadly passed away.
Huge.
Yeah, he's a huge pioneer rock god. He taught us all how to shred. And he used a drill on the guitar, and he messed with the guitar and did his own thing with the guitar. And I'm talking about Eddie Van Halen.
That's right.
So
R.I.P. EVH.
That's right. Okay. So this Would You Rather is really simple. And we're going to have a 3-fer tonight in honor of Eddie Van Halen. So would you rather have the white and black Frankenstrat, the real early one, or the Bumblebee, which he used on Van Halen 2, I believe, or the famous red Frankenstrat with the, I don't know if it was a patent number, PAF in the bridge or a PAF in the bridge, and a red looking bobbin Strat that did nothing. It was just there in the neck with an exposed switch.
Yeah,
that
this is
did nothing.
the one that a huge amount of people. It's impossible not to associate this one with him. This is the most associated one with him.
Yes. And actually, the red one was actually the black and white one, as we discovered.
Yeah.
So he started off the black and white one, had a pick guard. It did have a probably a PAF or some Gibson pickup in it.
I read about it like 15 years ago and I forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Forgot about it.
And then in later years, he cut the pick guard off.
Yeah.
It just kept the little control section, put more striping on, and then sprayed it red.
Yeah, and added a bunch of other crazy stuff to it.
Oh yeah, coins and things in the
Lifting up the bridge and all that. You flip the quarter in and give it the smart guy, man. That was the OG drop D, I believe.
It was a
I don't know.
And lifted up the bridge.
Did someone just hum a D?
You know, it swung around. So it cocked the bridge. Anyways.
Yes.
Who knows? That there's so much lore in that thing. I could be dead wrong. I could probably be right. Who knows? Okay, so we got a threefer. Now, the white one associated more closely with the very first Van Halen album, the one that most of us all fell in love with. This Van Halen 2, we got Bumblebee, and then later on migration into the Frankenstrat, the famous red Frankenstrat. So, Tony Baloney, what are you doing?
Well, you know, the Frankenstrat, whether it is the white one or the red one, they were pretty roughly made guitars. I had a chance to see the real one a couple years ago at the NAMM show, and man, it looks. I think he used a hammer and chisel on a lot of it instead of a router. And
I saw it with you, didn't I?
I think we were there at the same time. It was up at the Charvel or the Kramer booth.
Yep.
Fender Kramer booth. And the cool thing about the Bumblebee is that was kind of the refined version of that. He said he found out all the experiments on the original one, and then that was the one that he made that encapsulated that. But my choice, I mean, you gotta go with the red one. I mean, that's as beat up and as probably worn out. I think that one's probably had a half dozen necks on it over the years too. But that is the guitar when you think Eddie Van Halen. That's the one you think of.
Yeah.
So I have to go with that.
Yeah.
Okay, Jared.
I'm not going to have a long, drawn-out answer like good old Tony Baloney did, but because of the well-known association, I'm definitely going to go with the red one and the bridge pickup. I've studied that. I've read about that 100 times, and I've read 100 different things about it. What happened? Did he rewound the pickup, and then Seymour Duncan rewound it, and then I don't know. So I'd love to know the actual truth behind it. Unfortunately, I won't hear it from Eddie Van Halen now, but maybe he did. I don't know if anybody out there knows if he actually talks specifically about that pickup. Let me know. If you see any documents about it, or documentary, that's what I'm looking for. But yeah, man, that I would definitely go with the red, just to kind of reverse engineer everything, because it all tells a story. You know.
Okay, let's go with Brian.
I'm gonna go white. I gotta go original. I don't know. I'm looking at pictures online right now, and Eddie's junk is like way out in the open here.
Yep. Pretty much.
Which junk are you referring to?
All of it.
Yeah, no, all of it. I don't know. I like the single humbucking, like, I don't know. I just like white and black. I think that's what it is.
Yeah. That's fair.
What about you, old Todarewski?
Man, well, see, I'm torn because I like Van Halen 1. The hits on that are just, I mean, it's unstoppable. Like, it's hard to imagine. Like, you got Running with the Devil, you got Eruption, you got Ain't Talking About Love, I'm the One, Atomic Punch, like Little Dreamer. I'm going with number one. Doggone it! I'm going to go with number one because that was the root of everything. That's what I'm going with.
Okay.
As much as I like Unchained, which oh my god, I love that song. That's probably my favorite one of theirs. But the other stuff, it's like you listen to that whole thing and you're just like, where did this come from? And it came from that, and so I want that.
Okay. So the poor Bumblebee gets left out.
Poor Bumblebee gets left out. Yeah, Van Halen too. Yeah, not my favorite one, but anyways, well, if anybody has bothered going to our website ever, at the conception of the website, I at the bottom put a quote that says, "I play guitar like I'm falling down a flight of stairs, and I hope to land on my feet." And I say this with the absolute most sincerity. I remember standing in a music store when I was a kid, and I went in this music store all the time, and I never bought a thing. And I didn't have a guitar yet, but I wanted one really, really bad. And I saw the cover of this thing, and it was Eddie Van Halen on the cover, and I opened it up, and the very first thing I saw was a pull quote that said, "I play guitar like I'm falling down a flight of stairs and hope to land on my feet." And that changed everything. Thank you, Eddie Van Halen. R.I.P.
Have you fallen down some stairs?
I probably have.
Have you landed on your feet?
No. And sadly, that was also probably the demise of where I could have been better at guitar, because I'm like, well, if he doesn't, I've told that story before, but later on in that interview, he said, yeah, he didn't read music, and that was before he started getting lessons from Joe Satriani and everything, and apparently learning how to read music. So I was like, well, if he doesn't have to, why should I?
That's right.
Anyways, okay. That was the most, maybe the most hearty thing. I almost cracked there a little bit. I'm not going to lie. I mean, it meant a lot to me.
Yeah.
All right. We need to thank a few people.
Yes.
Tony Baloney.
Yes. At this point of the show, we like to thank a special group of people. If you want to become a patron, a sponsor of this podcast, go over to patreon.com/The Guitar Knobs. You'll find a couple of different levels in which you can participate, and each level comes with a great, great, great prize package. Things like T-shirts and barefoot buttons and flashlights and stickers and picks and all the good stuff. But there's a certain level that we have. We call them our executive producers. And they get all of that great stuff, but they get something else. Jared?
They get to have their name read on the thing.
Correctamundo.
Their name read on the thing. And that's what I'm going to do right now. I have to take an extra deep breath.
Yes, you do.
This list just grew by one today. Special thanks to executive producers Tom Barazin, Martin Cliff, John Daly, Chris Kearney, Darren Gregory, Doug Christ, Michael Van Zant, Ken Sayers, Brian Robison, Michael Senchuk, Stefan Lamb, Johnny Knowles, Anthony Lathrop, John Anglin, Tyler Bray, Brad Partridge, Chris Heidel, John Esterly, Doug Gann, Justin Jones, Brett Alexander, James White, Matt Hart, Liam Martin, James Pennington, Richard Kendall, Ty Carmen, John Williams, Michael DeLuccio, and John Jackson.
Joan Jackson.
Our newest and bestest friend.
Yes, sir, that is correct.
But can I continue?
You please continue, please.
Thank you.
You.
Yes. So we have another group of people that are executive producers, but they're even a little more special.
That's right.
We call them our grand poobahs. And one of
They
the
play
benefits-
mahjong at the top of our temple in their fezzes.
at tea time. But they do wear fezzes. We send a lovely fez
Yeah.
that they can wear that they must wear
must
whilst listening to the podcast.
Yes.
So special thanks to these grand poobahs: Jonathan Jerusik, Corey Nigro, David Kaminga, Cody Lane, Cody Foster, Sean S., Tommy Manesco, Mark Garton, Adam Johnson, Steve Keys, Zach Melton, and Tim Nowak.
All right. Hey,
Thank
everybody.
you.
Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
thank you
so
thank
much.
you.
We love you.
All right. Brian Bicknell, thank you for joining our show today. Spruce Effects, everybody. Go check them out. We appreciate you coming on the show, sharing your wares, and telling your story. And we're glad that you're a friend of ours now. Our door is always open to you. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. So you can go to www.spruceeffects.com. That's where you can find all of our stuff. And if you want a special little discount code, you can enter Guitar Knobs, and you'll get 15% off. And we'll run that until we feel like not running it anymore. So
Nice.
Holy macaroni. For which pedals?
any available pedals. It probably won't apply to the Americana series, but etched or classic, it'll work.
Awesome.
We're into
Nice.
it.
That is a fantastic discount. Thank you so much. That is very generous. We really appreciate that.
Yeah,
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, get yourself one of these. I would highly recommend the Gale, and that whole etch series, man, that's killer, because that's all of the sounds that you just need on the board no matter what anyhow. So go do it. It's going to a good guy with a great brand and a good ethos. So, anyways, let's see here. Tony Baloney,
Yep.
Where can people find you?
Head over to pickguardian.com. Check out some of the stuff that I have available for sale there. But as I've often said, most of what I do is custom work. So shoot me an email. Let me know what you need, what you're thinking in terms of color and all that fun stuff, and I will make it happen.
Fantastical. Jared?
Well, if you need any new pickups, new old-looking pickups to match your old guitar, or anything of that sort, you need a rewind done. And as a matter of fact, our friend Mark Chatfield, guitar player for the Silver Bullet Band.
And the gods.
That's right. He sent me a Telecaster bridge pickup, and I wound it to standard. But he emailed me, he said, "Hey, great job on the rewind. It measures out at 6.66." And he's like, well,
Perfect.
We're going to play some Megadeth with this. So I thought that was kind of funny. But go to BrandonWildPickups.com or find me on Instagram, Facebook, and we'll help you out.
Awesome. You can send me an email, todd@theguitarknobs.com. You can also shoot me a DM on Instagram @guitarknobs. Please share your would you rathers. We would love to hear them. We'd love to hear what's going on in your music world, and just what you
us
think
a
of the show
line.
and stuff. Send us a
Show us.
line, everybody. All right, Brian, again, ginormous thank you. Yay!
Thank
Spruce
you.
Effects. And big shout out to Eddie Van Halen one more time. Thank you for everything, Mr. Man. Have a great guitar week, everybody, and subscribe.
Yeah.
That one, that was a good clap, Jared.
That hurt my
A
ears.
meaningful clap. I think that was meant for my head.
That's for Eddie.
Jeez.
Way to go, Jared.
Tony Baloney.
No.
I wasn't expecting you to say that.
No.
Can't do that twice. That'll suck.
Oh, my God.
But then he gets in a kitchen and it's like Buttertown and go for it. So
That's my town.
Buttertown.
Yeah.
Buttertown. Tony's from Buttertown.
Butterberg.
I'm coming.
He goes back every
Go
weekend.
back every weekend.
Butterville, Butterberg. Yeah.
Coke Zero instead of bologna sandwich.
Perfect. Okay.
Can of Coke Zero.
Before Jared ends up eating my face off,
Butterbun.
we will get on with this show.
do
here.
it.
Which is a
Yes.
reminder that any building or type stuff makes its way loud and clear over the airwaves here. I got kind of Jeff Goldblumey right there a little bit.
Yes, you did.
That was a good
Right,
rhythm. I like
right
that.
there. And well, let's just move on to the next thing there.
Yeah.
Tony with the zinger. Hey. Maybe a little bit.
Okay.
I'm always willing to embarrass myself a little bit, though.
That's what my bully said.
That's
Are
what
you
your
my bully?
Let me try this again. Okay, I'm going to try that again. Sorry, that was a mess.
Start it over.
Well, that's it for these knobs. Please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/theguitarknobs. Visit our website at theguitarknobs.com for all of our past episodes, 4 on the Floor blog, and other good stuff. You can connect with us on social too at our Facebook page and share your gear and stories on our Facebook group. Also, be sure to check out our Instagram at Guitar Knobs. Catch you next time.